Hi there, I'm here today to tell you a little bit about the one true hero of classic American condiments.
Statistics show that 97% of Americans have a bottle of ketchup in their home. But how did we all come to agree to love such a simple flavor?
Yeehaw!
Well, originated in America using all American ingredients, the Americans quickly became accustomed to the irresistible taste of ketchup.
有時好多人問我食飯食蛋治中意放咩醬，係源自於中國，之前被叫做你知唔知呢個字點解？
Although this would be almost unrecognisable as the ketchup sold in stores today, over the years different nations have had many takes on the infamous condiment, but they're all missing one crucial ingredient. The tomato, ladies and gentlemen. The first tomato ketchup recipe was introduced in 1812 by James Mees, containing tomato pulp, spices and brandy, but lacking vinegar and sugar. In 1876, a man from Pittsburgh, USA would make a dramatic impact on the production of tomato ketchup. This man was called Henry J. Heinz.
Yaboo
Heinz's tactic was to use the largest, ripest tomatoes in his ketchup, whilst increasing the sugar amount for flavour and the vinegar amount to avoid risk of spoilage. This recipe soon proved to be the most favoured among Americans, and before long last, the rest of the world. Fantastic. So now that we've briefly touched upon the origins of tomato ketchup, it's time to get into the really important bits. Where do you put the damn stuff? As most of you should hopefully know by now, there are mainly two kinds of ketchup buyers on this planet of ours. There are the people who store said condiment in their kitchen cupboard, and there are the raving imbeciles who enjoy cold sauce and the hot food and decide to store it in the fridge. Whichever you may be, it makes no difference to myself, as I don't care. After examining the results of our cupboard and fridge polls, we found that coincidentally, there is an almost perfect divide between the two options, which of course makes that so much easier for us. So, half you like it in the fridge, half you like it in the cupboard. Cast aside those of you who like to store it elsewhere, but let's be honest, the less said about your kind the better, wouldn't you agree? So, where do we go from here? I'll show you. In the UK, tomato farmers are always experimenting with different ways in how to grow the fruit. Woo! To ensure the tastiest ketchup, Heinz tend to use the largest, ripest beef tomatoes. Without the time and effort put in by our tomato farmers, ketchup wouldn't be nearly as popular as it is today. Then what would your mum use as a secret ingredient to all those famously gorgeous dishes? And that's it. We've learnt about the history of ketchup, the farming of tomatoes, and the science behind it all. Thank you very much. In 1876, a man from Pittsburgh, USA would make a dramatic impact on the production of tomato ketchup. To ensure the tastiest ketchup, there's an almost perfect divide between the two. There's an almost perfect. To ensure the tastiest ketchup. To ensure the tastiest ketchup. Almost perfect divide between the two.
Statistics show that 97% of Americans have a bottle of ketchup in their home.
Tomato. Almost perfect divide between the two. Oh my god, I can't believe I haven't seen this before. It's been there smacking me in the face all this time. Ketchup is obviously meant to be kept in there.
Piss off.